don't know if you can see that, but if you go to your about page, you can access it quickly and you can reach me out there. I don't really reply with mails because it's a lot. I mean, mails and emails or messenger, I get a lot of messages and sometimes I just don't have time, but of course I check them out, just I don't reply. Sorry. I don't have time, and but I thank everyone who made an effort to send me, especially those who told me that they support my channel, and those who have been there for a long time. Thank you, thank you. I don't know if I can still help you or if I'm still useful, but hopefully, because our topics, they're gonna be changing and evolving as well, because Philippines is also changing, right? So but it's not rapid. Maybe I would still be here for the next 5 years. Just kidding. Anyway, thank you for those who continued to support me. I really appreciate that. Now, my topic for today is that do Filipinos have long-term goals or short-term goals? Actually, I posted something about that, and I mentioned that Filipinas, especially women, mostly women, we don't really have long-term goals. Usually, our long-term goals would be settled within the family. Why is that? First of all, our goals are predetermined by our parents. For instance, like your parents would tell you, oh, you should get this degree because it's good for you, or they would tell you that, oh, you should study so you can help the family, or you should go there and do this. So most Filipinos, their decision making are, or their goals are focused on the family. Another thing is that some families or parents, they would tell their kids like, hey, uh, you work, support us, help us raise your sisters, your brothers, and so on. Or sometimes, even though these people have financial freedom, they would be told to, mm, like at this age you should get married and so on. So their long-term goals for themselves sometimes halt because marriage is very different in the Philippines. It's not like in other countries. I have observed Japan, Korea, and some of my foreign coworkers, and their view about marriage is very different, and it's quite interesting actually. Later on I'm going to talk about how do Filipinos view marriage. Anyways, I'm moving on. Another thing for this, having a short-term goal is because of our culture. So some, when they raise us, they always say like, share your blessings. You only live once. Enjoy your life. Don't stress too much. And you know, most long-term goals, they're focused on your self-enhancement or career, or accumulating some wealth and then passing that on to your next child, or maybe having this certain amount of money so that when your children get older you don't need their help. But for Filipinos, we were told to, like, eventually you will get married anyway, so you don't really have to do that. And then you couldn't, one of the most famous line, I would say it in Tagalog. A lot of people say this, it's really, weird, but they would say, like, for example, di mo madadala ang pera mo sa hukay, which means you wouldn't carry your wealth on your deathbed or something. Although that is a wrong, for me, that's a wrong analysis, because a lot of women or Filipinos are struggling to move on with their personal lives or personal families because they are burdened, or they have to support their family. Now, I have nothing against, supporting or helping your family. It's your choice, it's their money and all, but sometimes a lot of, OFWs and even Filipinos married to foreigners forget themselves. Believe there are, most Filipinos don't have bank accounts. When they do, it's only related to their salary. And that is, from a study, from a bank. So it is because, we tend to enjoy our life too much. And we were told, like, those things, like you have to support everyone in your family. So more or less nothing is left for us. And I'm not lying. Even Filipinos abroad, sometimes they help too much and then they forget themselves. I met several OFWs around the world, and then the number one thing that they would tell me is leave some money for yourself. What they don't know is I leave it all for me. Just kidding. Anyways, moving on. Next reason, religion. Religion has a big factor for our short-term goals. It is because, if you read the Bible, it's like the grace of God, glory God. Everything is around there. I mean, I believe that there's a higher power, but I also believe that he wants me to make the best out of my life with the life that he has given me to make it useful. But most Filipinos, they take it too much by heart. So there are some parts in the Bible, especially Ten Commandments, you might see there, like for example, uh, help your mother and father, or they're like the foundation. It's the foundation of our even our constitution. So another thing is, sometimes, let's be honest, they lack resources. So sometimes they don't have enough money to continue those or pursue those goals, those long-term goals. And a lot of things happen along the way while you're going for those goals. Some of them get married, some of them get pregnant, and then some of them, they lose motivation because they don't have enough resources. So it's like that. Now, is it all Filipinos? No. There are a lot of Filipinos whom I met who have learned long-term goals, but sometimes it takes longer because of their responsibilities back home. But eventually they will get there. Now, at first, while we're young, we only have short-term goals. But once a Filipina has a family or a family to support, their long-term goals would be focused on that line. How can I help my family? How can I make their life stable, better, and so on? Unfortunately, the reason why it's not working sometimes is that these family members whom they are helping or taking them under their wings, they are not as supportive as